Well, this is Greg Jameson, and I'm trying some new software today. It is called Restream, and the goal of this is to actually be broadcasting on multiple channels all at one time. So we're trying to do
Hi,
that.
I'm Greg Jameson, and I've got something.
Not sure if it's working here yet or not. Fortunately, we've got a couple minutes here to get going, but I thought I'd give it a try. And let's see here if we're showing up on any of the channels at this point. The concept here is we're going to broadcast on Facebook, we're going to broadcast on YouTube, we're going to broadcast on Twitter, all simultaneously. Oh, and on LinkedIn. Let's check our LinkedIn status here too. So it says we're going live in like 56 seconds. And I do see you, Mitch. What channel are you coming through on? You can't hear me? Okay, you hear me. I think that you're coming through on the Restream app, so that's good. Gonna check here on Facebook one more time. Still got about 20 seconds to go before I think it goes live on Facebook. So this is an interesting experiment. Like I said, this software is called Restream, and it allows you to broadcast live simultaneously to multiple channels, including YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and actually a bunch of other ones that I haven't heard of. You can do Instagram as well. I did not have my Instagram one set up yet, so we're going to see what happens here. Let's see if this is going live here. It says it's going live on Facebook, but I'm not seeing it. Maybe I simply don't see it on any of the channels, and that I'm. And I agree with you, Mitch. Let me check the. Now I might be oversaturated, I don't know. Okay, at any rate, we are going to talk here today for anyone that is able to see me on any of the channels that we talked about, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. We're going to talk today about the blog post that came out yesterday. And this was all about how to get your videos seen. I'm in the process of doing a whole series of blog posts on videos for your website. And the reason is that Google has decided that video is a primary component of search engine optimization in 2022. Google, as probably everyone knows, owns YouTube, and they have been pushing video for a while now, but it's actually built into the algorithm now where if you do a search, you may very well end up seeing things that you didn't see before. Hi, Brian, I see you on the Restream app. I'm not seeing the people that are here on Facebook or LinkedIn. I'm not sure how that works because I'm just trying this software out, so we'll see what happens here. But let me see if I can share my screen on something here. And I want to share. Screen 2. All right, so you should now be seeing my screen that shows Google here. And I'm just going to do a search here on the term party crackers. Oops, typo in there. Party crackers. And this is different than what was showing up here actually right before Christmas. There was actually a video here showing up there. Let me see what happens if I do a search for Christmas party crackers. The video is showing up. But you can see that there are a bunch of images showing up here. And this basically what Google is calling a featured snippet. And they're changing their algorithm, as it turns out, almost on a daily basis, sometimes a couple times a day. And so the results that you're going to see when you search things on Google are going to be different, basically, between now and if you come back and do a search on it in a couple of days. And the featured snippet here sometimes is a video, depending upon the search term that you put in. So that's one of the things that Google is doing this year to try to get video as a bigger placement in the search results. So in the blog post yesterday, I actually talked about 3 different things in terms of how to get your video watched. And I'm having to look at multiple screens here, so I actually see your question there, Mitch, and I'll get to it in a second. But the important things here really for getting your video seen, besides showing up on Google, of course, is to have a really catchy title. And one of the things that I had recommended in terms of a catchy title is that you actually go out and you look at some of these news sites, the celebrity news sites. I'm just going to do a search here on celebrity news and we'll look at something. They're actually a pretty good one for looking at different things. So you can see here I picked on Harper's Bazaar before. And they always have these titles to their articles that are really basically what's called clickbait. So we can see that some of these here, the people that are interested in celebrity gossip are likely to click on these things because they're very catchy. So you might see something here, a smoldering date night look from Adele. What you do is you take that title and you rework it for something that you are trying to accomplish. So you might have a smoldering new way to utilize organic jams. Basically, you just take the information, you twist it around to create the title for your video. Because these types of titles, while they seem really clickbaitish, because that's what they are, those are the things that actually get people's attention. So you'll notice that in the case of the blog post that I put out yesterday, I did that with the blog post title and said the most outrageous ways to get people to watch your videos. Okay, so that's the title. You want to have a really catchy title that is something that is going to catch people's attention. The next thing that you want to do is create a custom thumbnail for your video. And that custom thumbnail does not have to be anything that actually appears in the video itself. This is the thumbnail that I used for the video that I attached to yesterday's blog post, and that's never in the video. One of the best things that I've seen for thumbnails is if you go to YouTube and you do a search on Elon Musk, and this may actually come up with some stuff here for Elon because I typically look at it. But even if you look here, you notice like here is in fact one about Elon Musk, and this is horrible, shocking news type things. But if I just do a search here on Elon in general, the people that are doing the videos obviously do a really good job with their thumbnails. So I'm not perverted enough, for this thing here. There's that. This is horrible. A collapse is coming. So you can see that these thumbnails are very catching. And what you want to do is you want to create a thumbnail that is 1280 pixels by 720 pixels in size. And like I said, it doesn't even have to be something that's in your video. So I created this thumbnail for yesterday's blog post, and then you can actually click on the video and watch it inside the blog post. Google is really giving credit to people that put videos on every single page of your website. You want to have one video per page, but a video is going to help rank your page higher in Google. So one of the things that I'm doing this year is I'm trying to take my own advice, and every single blog post that I put out one blog post each week. The idea is to have a video attached to each blog post. If you are selling things online, I really recommend that you do that for each of your products as well. Create a video for every single product. I know that sounds like a real pain, but it will pay you back many times because of the fact that Google is going to rank those pages that have videos embedded in them. Okay, the third thing about getting your video watched is really the opening scene. And the opening scene is like the first 10 or 15 seconds. And it needs to be something that really catches people's attention. Frequently when we create a video, we immediately go out there and say we're creating a product video, and we're going to create a product video about my cell phone. And we just sit there as a talking head saying, this is a really cool cell phone. Let me show you a couple features of it. And you go through there and it's the typical content that you would expect about a product. Well, you want that content in there, but that's not how you want to start the video. You want to start the video with something that is really catching. So one of the things that I would recommend that you do is go to a site called Pixabay. And Pixabay has all kinds of free media that you can use, including videos. And so you can go here to videos, and let's just say that we're going to do a video about eating something. So I'm just going to type in the word eating. And you can see here that there's a bunch of videos that probably don't have anything to do. I'm going to pick on Brian since I know he's here through the Restream app. And let's just say that we're going to come up with, it'd be great if we had something, where somebody was being a slob or something while they're eating, but we can really do anything. And, we'll just pick on this caterpillar here, and we can see that video. If we like it, we can download it for free, but maybe you start out saying something like, do your eating habits include organic food like this caterpillar eating this flower or whatever? Well, we've got an even better solution for you. We have these great organic jams and so forth. So the point is that you really want to make something be kind of outrageous in your opening. And that's what I did in this video here, where I show a bomb blowing things up and I talk about exploding sales.
How often have you launched new product or service only to hear crickets? When what you really wanted to do was to explode your sales and make a big impact on the world. Hi, I'm Greg.
So you can see that that's what we're talking about here. So that's what I have. Let's kind of open this up here to questions and see if we can answer anybody's stuff. I am seeing the private chat here of the things that Mitch has sent. If you are coming through this on one of the social media channels, those appear in a chat overlay inside this Restream app. So that allows me to see basically, if you're typing in comments from Facebook or LinkedIn, I can see those right in the Restream app here as well. And we'll stop the screen share here so that I'm back full screen. And let me see if I can answer your questions here, Mitch. Does Restream video count on CRM for Google and Facebook? Not sure what you mean by count on CRM for those, but the video goes to a typical Facebook Live situation, so your followers can see you on Facebook. It has two versions. It has a free version, which I'm using right now, and it has a paid version. With the paid version, you can stream to pages and groups on Facebook. With the free version, you can only stream to your personal profile. And then you said the sensational stuff usually runs negative. Is there a positive spin to catchy titles too? I think that you can, the idea with the catchy titles is to find something that is really going to just get people to kind of go, whoa, wait a minute, what's he talking about? And take a look at it. I don't think that they're always all negative. Sometimes they're just outrageous, and it causes people to stop and go, oh, I want to click on that so that I can see what he's talking about. Most of us are doing professional things, and so we don't want to be so outrageous that people don't click on what it is that we want to convey. If we're doing a, we look at some of those celebrity news sites type thing, and I agree that sometimes those things are negative, but sometimes they're just things that we can put a spin on it and say, hey, I really want to see why it is outrageous for me to be going on a cruise during a pandemic. Does Google and Facebook count the video, or will they only boost the listing on their streaming sites? Google, like I said, they're changing their algorithm. Last year, apparently, they changed their algorithm 600 times during the course of the year. That means that twice a day, basically, they are changing their algorithm. And so they have a new thing that they came out with about a year ago, I guess, called Rank Brain. And it is an AI powered component to their algorithm, which is one of the reasons why it's changing so fast. Is the algorithm is actually learning things as it goes along, and the videos that you see, one of the things that it's doing is it's saying, hey, videos are obviously important to people, so we're trying to push those more in the search results. But what counts today may or may not count this afternoon even. All right, well, I promised to keep this short. I'm going to do this every week following my blog post. So the blog posts come out on Wednesdays. On Thursdays at 1 o'clock, I'm going to do this weekly update call. I don't know at this point if I am going to continue to use Restream or if I'm going to go back to Zoom where we can have it be a little bit more interactive in terms of a meeting type of situation. The idea with Restream was obviously to go across multiple social media channels at the same time. I'm not sure what's going to work the best, but basically every Thursday at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, I'm going to do this on some platform so that we can not only cover what we talked about in the blog post, but it's really an opportunity for anybody to ask me any questions at all about e-commerce, internet marketing, and we'll start with the blog post so that we have a starting point for the discussion. But if you come on here and you say, hey, I'd really like to know about cybersecurity, and I'm not talking about cybersecurity yet, but I really want to know, how I can lock my website down to keep people from hacking into it, we can go off on those kind of tangents. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and we will hopefully see everybody again next week. Thanks for joining me.